Hi, this is Elizabeth, one of the co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Give yourself permission to dream. Dreams do come true, only if you wish them hard enough. Jamie Barre. Good morning. Welcome to Choose to Rise. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. And today's topic is inspired by my good friend Sarah Morrison, who has been such a light in my life these last few years of my life. And I was reminded this morning, she just did a leadership call for those of you that don't know, I'm a life coach, I'm a health and confidence coach. And every week, leaders from our team get together on a Zoom call and just share what's working, inspire each other, motivate each other, answer each other's questions, all the things. And it's just such a positive and empowering community of people. And it's just something I'm so grateful that I said yes to and that I'm a part of. And it's just something that everyone can be a part of. Like you can all come sit at our table. You can all be a part of this with us. And I just wanted to throw that out there, but also just to say, like, these are the places that I get inspired. This is the crew of people, my team that I talk about all the time. They're the people that inspire me and motivate me and make me want to be a better person and help me grow as an individual. Because one of the things that she said this morning in our call was like, you'll never be able to grow your income beyond what you grow yourself as a person. And that is so true, right? Like I was last night listening to a call from Brad Bizjack, and he was talking about there's 3 ways of education. There's education from a school, like where you learn skills and trades and like a traditional education background. There's education by experience and all the things that you can do, kind of that trial and error kind of thing. And then there's the education with education by sharing, right? Where you can learn from other people. And so I love learning from other people. I love being inspired by other people. I love being just learning as we go and like just growing from people that are going in the direction I want to go. And I hope that's why you're here on Choose to Rise. I hope that's why you show up here, is that you want to grow, you want to rise up and be your best self. And so you come here to be motivated and to be inspired. And if you want to level up on that, I would encourage you to reach out and talk about being a part of our team. We work on being our best selves every single day, physically, nutritionally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all the things. And that's where today's podcast is coming from today, is that learning how to dream and creating a vision for yourself and dreaming bigger, allowing yourself to dream, giving yourself permission to dream bigger. And this little quote book that I have here from, it's called Love Your Life by Dominique Bertolucci. I always say her name wrong, Bertolucci. And it says here, if you want to live your best life, don't make the mistake of dismissing your dreams as soon as they pop in your head. Take the time to explore them. This doesn't mean that every single thought needs to be acted upon, just that your ideas shouldn't be dismissed without thought or consideration. And when I think about that, when I just process this and I think about the activity that Sarah shared with me this morning that I'm going to share with you today, is that when you think about the dreams and the things that pop into your head, God's given you everything you need in order to live your best life. Every single one of us was born with the special gifts that we need in order to live our life. And it's completely up to us to find those gifts, to embrace those gifts and those skills and abilities that He's given us and live the life that we're given. But so many people let doubt and fear and frustration and concern and all the negative stuff in life keep us from living our best life. We allow the comparison of the world to show up and keep us from living our best life. Comparison kills all joy. Right? And we don't want to do that anymore. We want to live our best life. And so I want today to share with you a great activity that you can use to live your best life and show up with your dreams and do all the things that you are designed to do. All right. So I want you to just start to daydream. I want you to think about what the fantasy world would look like. And no, I'm not talking about that kind of fantasy. Like, we keep things PG here and we're all about growth. Okay. So keep your mind out of the gutter, but be thinking about, when was the last time you daydreamed? When was the last time that you really dreamed bigger dreams, and what could be possible? Maybe it was when you were little. That was the last time you daydreamed about things. I want you to go back to those things. When was the last time that you asked God to expand your mind to what's possible for you and for your life? Too often we tell God what we want out of life, where we want to live, what we want to drive, how much money we want to have, what kind of relationships we want to have, who we want to marry, what kind of life we want to live. But we don't not often stop and ask God, what's the biggest, grandest vision you have for my life? Because most likely your vision for what your life looks like this, and his vision for our life looks like this. It's so much bigger than what we can imagine. And we corner ourselves into this tiny little box because we cannot comprehend how big our God is. We cannot understand. We are humans. We do not have the opportunity, the ability to know and completely understand how big and amazing he is. We just see this tiny sliver of time and our tiny sliver of who we are, when life can be so much bigger if we were to open up our eyes and ask God, what is the biggest, grandest vision you have for my life? I recently started doing more of this. I started digging into my Bible every day. My team is working through a Bible in a year challenge, and we read 4 chapters a day, and we're going to be finishing the Bible by the end of the year. I've done this more by connecting spiritually with meditation and being a part of books like Super Attractor and the Miracle Membership with Gabby Bernstein, and meditating and connecting to my God, because God is love. And when I surrender to him, I am able to have more in my life, because I am able to connect to him and see what the grandest vision is for me, and notice and understand that my vision for my life is so much smaller than the vision that he has for my life. And so, especially as women showing up in life, we often try to introduce ourselves to just these small things when God has so much bigger things in our life. And so I want to remind you today that you can have bigger things. Everything belongs to God, and everything that exists came from God. You can be, do, and have everything that God has for you if you connect to him and ask him what those things are. We often limit our own potential because we don't allow our minds to see the possibilities. We limit ourselves by asking to be comfortable, for asking for very little, or just really kind of putting that off of like, oh, I don't need that. Like, it's okay. When really, like, you should be living abundant lives. God can do exceedingly abundant things in our life if we let him, if we don't cut ourselves off from the negative, from the love and the passion flow that he gives us. If we are intentional about staying in a divine alignment with him and connection with him, opening up conversation with him every single day through scripture and journaling and just prayer, so many things can come from that. So what is it that you're desiring in life? What is it that you want to have happen? What would abundance look like for you? What are your heart's desires? What are those ideas that keep popping into your head that maybe you're dismissing, but they keep showing up? Maybe that's a sign that you should be going someplace. So the activity that you have for you today is, I want you to just brain dump in pictures on your paper. I want you to grab a blank sheet of paper, and if you're driving, come back to this activity. But I want you to grab a blank sheet of paper, and I want you to draw out what life would look like. What is one of the biggest desires that you have for yourself right now? What is the things that you really just cannot imagine what would life be like if you had this? And I want you to draw it out. For me and my heart, for a couple years ago when I did this activity, it was to have a beautiful acreage for our family to live on, out where close to family, and I have a perfect vision of what that home looks like, what the acreage looks like, what my kitchen's going to look like, my office is going to look like. I hold that vision in my head. But it all started with a really kitty kitchen chicken scratching image that I drew. It doesn't have to be Picasso, people. It just has to be images on a piece of paper. And then you color it. You not only make it with a pen or only make it with a pencil in a gray state, but then you color it and you give it life, because colorful things have meaning and colorful things have life. And when your brain sees it, it looks for ways for you to achieve those kinds of things. And then you start asking yourself questions like, how can I make this happen? How can I become debt-free? How can I live my healthiest life? How can I get to this point? Where can I find my favorite thing to do in life? How can I live the life that God designed me for? How can I surrender my heart and mind to open up myself to the things, the grandest vision that God has for me? Asking yourself positive questions like that your brain can then go find the answer to, will definitely help you get farther towards your goals, help you achieve the dreams that you want for yourself, and make that those dreams not just just dreams and fantasies and like nice to haves, but will have actual meaning in your life, and you'll have emotional attachment to them, and they will start to show up in your world because you're calling upon them and you want them to be there, and they will be there for you. I hope today that this activity, that you really go do it, that you get out that blank piece of paper and you start sketching the life that you want in images, and then color it in, make it vibrant, make it beautiful, make it something that you have your heart attached to, and so that you're committed to going and doing it. And then ask yourself the positive questions. How can I have this? How can I live this way? When can I have XYZ? Where will I be living when I'm this happy? And how will I feel when I have achieved this goal? And thinking about the positive thing, not so much the negative thing. So sometimes people make the mistake of asking the wrong question in order to get there. So when you focus on the negative, like, how can I get out of this debt, right? When you're focusing on debt, you're going to stick in debt. When you're like, how can I live in an abundant life where money flows freely? Now, there's a question to ask for yourself. If I'm going to focus on how do I lose all this weight? No, that's not a good question. How about you think about, how do I feel my most healthiest and I could live my best life, with energy and positivity and all the things, right? Ask yourself and focus on the positive in every situation. Not how can I get away from something, but how can I live the best life? Ask yourself those questions. So number one, fantasize, dream. Look for the bigger things in life. If you want to live your best life, don't make the mistake of dismissing your dreams as soon as they pop in your head. Take the time to explore them. That doesn't mean that every single thing needs to be acted upon, but they are ideas that shouldn't be dismissed without consideration. Think about those things. Draw them out on paper. Make them an image. Color them in. Ask yourself the positive questions that are going to get you to those points, and then live the life with faith that you know that's going to be there for you. I hope today that one of these little strategies, these little tips, that you actually go do this exercise and it makes a huge difference in your life, because it has completely made a difference in mine. And I want you to be able to live your best life too, because that's what we're all here for, right? Here at Choose to Rise, rising up to live your best life. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here today. If you enjoyed this or you're excited to do this exercise, please go share this with someone else. Tag a friend below if you're on here on social media. Send this podcast to a friend, a group of people, friends that you know. Leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, and more people will be able to find it. I appreciate all of you so very much for being here today. And if you've not already followed along on Choose to Rise on Facebook or KJP Meyer on Instagram, please go do so. I want to connect with you. I want to support you in your journey and just motivate you, inspire you beyond the podcast that I do here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Thank you so much for being here today. I will see you back here again next time.